This video is designed to help ballet teachers teach the beginning levels of ballet. Each ballet student has a unique body. One or more of the positions, techniques, exercises, and/or steps shown in this video may not be suitable for everyone and may result in pain or injury. When in doubt, first consult with a physician. The creators, producers, participants, and distributors of this video are not responsible for injuries resulting from any use of it.
Hello, my name is Lynn, and I'm here to share teaching skills with you concerning the most important levels in ballet training, the first 3 levels. These levels are the foundation for everything that is to come, and if they're taught expertly, will save countless hours of backtracking to correct bad habits, and perhaps most importantly, will prevent many injuries. Ballet 1 consists of 3 semesters. This film covers the very first semester. And now I'd like to introduce my assistants. This is the brilliant pianist and composer, Anatoly Deriev. And this is Catherine, Eric, and Bailey, students who will represent a Ballet 1 class. If this were a real class of, say, 10 or more students, you would want to have an assistant, for these levels require a lot of hands-on. This assistant would shadow you, the teacher, becoming your extra hands and eyes. Watch for ways to help students learn 3 ways. 1, visually, to see or recognize how it's supposed to look. 2, mentally, to understand how it's to be done. And 3, physically, to feel what it's like when done correctly, which develops muscle memory. The greatest challenge we have as ballet teachers is to develop a love for this art form and at the same time establish good technique. We're going to begin with some exercises on the floor. This is a good stretch to do at the beginning of class. Hold your ankles, not your toes. You don't want to encourage sickle feet. So holding our ankles, we're going to try to touch our head to our feet. As you do this, don't force, but just gently stretch your back. This opens up our hips too. Ready? Over 1 and up. Good. Some students are tighter or less limber than others, and this can be discouraging. So to avoid hurt feelings, I like to remind students that all dancers are better at some things than they are at others. The less limber classmate is usually stronger, and the limber classmate usually has to work harder at becoming strong. Let's do this 8 times. Ready? Over 1 and up. 2 and up. 3 and up. 4 and up. 5 and up. 6 and up. 7 and up. And last time, 8 and rest. Let's shake out our legs. To limber up our hip joints, we're going to push our knees toward the floor on count 1, hold them there 2, 3, and rest on 4. As you do this, you may push with your hands, or you may hold your ankles and push with your arms like I'm doing. Okay, let's do this 4 sets. Ready? Down 1, 2, 3, rest 4. Good. Again, 1, 2, 3, rest 4. Down 1, knees to the floor, 2, 3, rest 4, and last time, 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. Good. In this exercise, our legs are open in second, and we want to sit up as straight as we can. I want Eric to feel as if he's trying to push his head toward the ceiling, or if someone were lifting him by his ears. That's it, good. Now sitting up as straight as you can, keep your legs very straight with the backs of the knees on the floor. That's it. And I want you to make sure that your knees look up at the ceiling. Don't let your leg turn in like that. Take the right arm up and put it next to your ear and the left arm behind your back. I'm going to do this opposite you. And we're going to try to touch our toes. Over and up. Good. Now let's change arms. That's it. As you do this, don't cheat and reach in front of your face. Make sure you keep this arm right up next to your ear and go over the top of your head. Over and up. Now be careful, don't let the knees turn in. Keep your legs straight. And let's do this 8 times. Right arm up, over 1 and up. Change, 2 and up. Change, 3 and up and 4 and up and 5 and up and 6 and up and 7 and up. One more. 8 and up. Rest. In the same position with our legs straight and our knees looking up at the ceiling, we're going to stretch the inside of our legs by reaching forward and trying to touch our chin to the floor. Okay. As we get out there, just sort of relax into the floor. Easier said than done, I know. Just try to relax your body into the floor and then come back up. That's it. Good. Let's do this again. Say 8 slow counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to touch your chin to the floor. Try to relax into the floor. And up, up, up. Good. In class, I would probably give these exercises in second again. The 8 side-to-side stretches and 2 sets of the forward stretches for the inside of the legs. For this stretch, we'll have our legs together and again, very straight. Sit up as tall as you can with your arms way up over your head. And we're going to reach up and out in as big an arch as we can and try to touch your toes and then see if you can put your head on your knees. And now kiss your right knee, kiss your left knee, and then reach out, 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 and way up high, and arms down. Rest a second, and let's do it once more. Way, way up high. Reach, reach, reach in as big an arch as you can. Touch your toes. Good. Kiss your right knee, your left knee, and then reach out, 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 and way up high, and rest. That was good. About 4 sets of this would be about right. For this ankle stretch, Bailey has her right palm up as if she's holding a tray on it. She's going to place her right heel in her hand. That's it, good. I want the ankle to be flexed. The foot is not pointed, and keep it a little bit relaxed. With her other hand, she's going to push the toes down toward the floor and the heel up toward the ceiling. So in other words, it would be opposite this, the toes up and the heels down. We want the heel up and the toes down. That's it. I try to work with each student individually when they're first learning this stretch to be sure that they're doing it correctly and that they're really getting a stretch. That's right. That's right, good. This is another way of doing the ankle stretch. Catherine's going to have her right palm up and place it on top of her left knee. And then she's going to put her right heel in her palm. Again, keeping the ankle flexed. She's going to take the other hand and using her knee, her left knee as leverage, she's going to push her toes down toward the floor. There, that's good. This is Erin, a more advanced student, who's going to help me demonstrate why this ankle stretch is one of my favorites. It not only develops the flexibility that's needed, but it develops a sense of line to do beautiful tendus front and, say, the sur le coup de pied positions. Erin is going to demonstrate with a tendu front. Notice how her heel is up toward the ceiling and the top of her big toe is on the floor. And now sur le coup de pied front and sur le coup de pied back. And if she lowers her foot with the side of her big toe on the floor and extends her leg, we have a beautiful tendu back. Thank you, Erin. This exercise helps the students feel the correct alignment of their backs. We want the shoulders down and the neck long and relaxed, and we want the head to be level. With the knees up in this position, it's easier for them to feel their pelvis straight with their belly button looking up at the ceiling. Be sure and remind the students to keep breathing. They work so hard to keep their tummies in that sometimes they forget to breathe. We're going to slide our feet out in 8 slow counts, and as you do this, it'll be harder and harder to hold your pelvis straight. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now check with your hand and see if your back is still flat. That's it, good. Continue 5, 6, 7, 8. Check again. If there's a little cave now, that's okay. And bring your feet up, and let's do it again. Good. I'd like to explain here what I mean by a straight back. I do not mean that the spine is straight, losing its natural curves, which are really important as cushioning for jumps. What I'm speaking of is a straight pelvis and a straight upper back or rib cage that's not tilted forward or back. Now, looking in the mirror, let's check the alignment of our backs. I want you to think of this hip area, the pelvis area, as if it were a box. I don't want the box to be tilted forward like this with the belly button looking on an angle toward the floor, nor do I want it to be tucked under, tilted this way. That's just as incorrect. But what we want is this box to be straight up and down with the belly button looking straight front. If your pelvis is straight, this popsicle stick will lie flat against this hip flexor area. If it's tilted, there will be a space here. Let's think of our upper body, our rib cage area, as another box. We don't want it tilted forward like this, but we don't want it tilted back with our ribs separating like this. Again, we want it to be straight up and down with our shoulders down and wide. Let's touch the top of our shoulders with our fingertips. And now pull your right elbow toward the mirror and your left elbow toward the back wall. Be sure they're pulling straight out. Shoulders are relaxed and down and very wide. Now check your back. Do you have your rib cage straight up and down? And is your pelvis straight with your belly button looking straight front? That's it, good. This exercise is used only as long as needed, perhaps the first few classes before the first bar work. We want our legs to be pulled up with our heels on the floor. Already, we work to have the legs pulled up, but not hyperextended with the knees locked back. Now, I'd like you to work to keep the ankle bone and the ball of the foot in a straight line like this. To help us keep that alignment, let's take 3 fingers, and we're going to check and be sure that the balls of our feet are 3 fingers distance apart, as well as the ankle bones 3 fingers distance apart. And we're going to go through the half toe and check and point with nice long toes through the half toe. Check to see that they're 3 fingers distance apart. And flex. Check. And again, half toe, 3 fingers distance, and point, and half toe, and flex. Good. These are what I call the 3 points of the foot. When the foot is flat on the floor, the weight should be even between the ball of the foot, the baby toe, and the heel. The toe should be firm on the floor, but not gripping or curled. When we're on half toe, the weight should be even between the big and the second toe, with no weight on the little toe. In fact, if you're very high on half toe, the little toe won't even touch the floor. And again, we want to keep that alignment of the ankle bone and the ball of the foot being in a straight line. Props are often helpful. Here's how we use these. This is our first work at the bar. Place your hands lightly on the bar and in line with your shoulders. And you want to stand just far enough away from the bar that your elbows are relaxed. And just like the exercise we did on the floor, I want you to place your feet where you have the ankle bone and the ball of the foot in line with the lines on the floor. So place your feet. You want to make sure that you have the 3 points of your foot even on the floor. Your weight should be between the ball of the foot, the baby toe, and the heel, and you have a little cave under both feet. As you come up, make sure you have pulled up legs, the pelvis straight with that belly button looking straight front, your shoulders down and wide. And is everybody breathing?
Yes.
Okay. We'll begin by learning Tendu. I want you to place your feet with the ankle bone and the ball of each foot on one of the lines. As we slide the foot forward, the heel will come off the floor, on through the half toe, and finally we'll point. Back through the half toe, the heel comes down, and we're back to our parallel position. As you do the Tendu, the leg must stay very straight. And when you're pointing the foot, there should be no weight on the toe. It should be as light as a feather. That's so that the leg can continue to lengthen and reach. When you do Tendu, it's like a doll doing a Tendu. The legs can move, but the hips and the shoulders stay in place. These dots on your shoulders and your hips must stay straight front, but not move forward with the legs. Now let's work on Demi Plié. Demi means half, so these pliés will be smaller than the grand pliés we'll learn later. When you do Demi Plié, you bend your knees, and you want to make sure that your knees are going right over the center of your foot or your third toe. You want to make sure that the heels stay on the floor so we get a good stretch in the Achilles tendon. And if that's not enough to remember, you want to make sure that your pelvis is straight. And straighten the legs. Good. This one combination is a preparation for so much. It is for tendus, but it's also for all movements that go through a tendu, such as dégagé and grand battement. We'll also use it to cover Demi Plié and Elevé. We're going to do 3 tendus, right, left, and right, and then 1 Demi Plié and straighten, and then we'll start with the left foot. And we'll do it with 4 counts each, like this: heel, ball, point, and ball, heel, close. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Out through the half toe point, through the half toe and parallel, plie down, down with a very straight back, straighten, pull up, and then start with the left foot. Okay, let's get ready. Make sure that you're standing with the 3 points of the foot on the floor even. Your legs are pulled up. Your tummies are in with the belly button looking straight front. Shoulders are down and wide. And heel, ball, point, and ball, heel, close. Left, heel, ball, point, and ball, heel, close. Right, heel, ball, point, and ball, heel, close. Now plie, 2 counts down, down, tummies in, and up, up, left foot, and heel, ball, point, and ball, heel, close. Plie, down, down, straight, and finish. After the students have a good tendu and demi plié, it's time to add dégagé and elevé. A dégagé goes through a tendu with a strong downward thrust, and it releases off the floor just an inch or two. It comes back through the tendu to the parallel position. As you do the dégagé, it's as if you're trying to rub the sole of your shoe off, only not like that with bent knees, okay? When you do the dégagé, the last thing to leave the floor is your toe, and the first thing to touch the floor is the toe. I'd like to mention here that I try not to use the word lift, but I stress how the foot releases from the floor, with the leg continuing to lengthen or reach, not lift. In learning elevé, we must remember what we learned about the half toe position. Press up, up. We want to make sure that the ankle bone and the ball of the foot are in that straight line, that the weight is between the big and second toe with no weight on the little toe. And down, down. Good. Using the same combination that we used for the tendus with the demi plié, we're going to do 3 dégagés, right, left, and right. And instead of the demi plié, we'll do an elevé and lower. Like this. We're going to go out through the tendu 1, release, through the tendu and close. Through the tendu, release, through the tendu and close. Through the tendu, release, through the tendu and close. And then with a very straight back, press up, up, down, down. And then we'll start with the left foot, okay? Now, make sure your tummies are in, standing on the 3 points of the foot, and out, release, touch, close, out, release, touch, out, release, touch, and now elevé, press up, up, lower, now left foot, out, release, touch, close, out, release, touch, close, out, release, touch, and elevé, straight backs, pull your tummies up, down, down. As the students master the tendus and demi plié and the dégagés and elevé, you will want to increase the speed. Rather than the 4 counts each, you'll want to use 2 counts each, like this. We'll go out 1, still through all the sections of the foot, 2, out and in, out and in, and 2 counts, 1, straighten, 2. Okay, let's get ready. Tummies in, legs pulled up, and out 1, 2, out, in, down and up. Left foot, out, in, out, in, Demi Plié, and straight. Dégagés, after being taught very carefully in 4 counts each, could be given like this. We're still going to go through the tendu, but we're not going to stop in the tendu. Brush, toe, close. Brush, toe, close. Brush, toe, close, and press up and lower, and then the left foot, okay? And brush, toe, close, brush, toe, close, brush, toe, close. Now elevate, pull your tummies up, left, brush, toe, close, brush, toe, close, brush, toe, close, press up, lower. Once the students have mastered a good Demi Plié, Elevé, and a good Dégagé, it's time to learn sautés. Sautés are jumps, and jumps begin with a Demi Plié and they end in a Demi Plié. As you jump, you straighten your legs and you point your toes. The toes are the last things to leave the floor. They're the first things to touch the floor coming down, and you're back into your Demi Plié. Note that learning the correct half toe position is important for jumps. If you push off the half toe incorrectly, say from the outside of your foot, the baby toe, your foot will be sickled in the air. For our jump combination, we're going to plie on the introduction to the music, straighten the legs on 1, plie on 2, sauté on 3, and hold count 4. So straight legs on 1, like they're going to be in the air, I hope. Plie on 2, sauté 3 with very pointed feet, and hold count 4. Now on the 4, make sure your pelvis is straight and your knees are over the 3rd toe. Parallel, there you go. Okay, get ready. Tummies in. And plie. Straight legs 1, plie 2, sauté 3, hold 4. Straighten, plie, sauté, hold. Straight, plie, sauté, hold. Straight legs, plie, sauté, hold. This exercise stretches the hip flexor area, enabling the dancer to do movements to the back, such as tendu or arabesque correctly. Catherine is on her back knee, still parallel, with her hips square front, and I want her to keep her pelvis very straight with the belly button looking straight front. She's going to push her hips forward and try to get a stretch in that hip flexor area. Push, 2, 3, and straighten. Good. We, of course, would do this on the other leg, too. Most students don't practice the splits correctly, and that's really a shame, for if they're practiced this way, it prepares for many things. I want you to get on the top of your back knee. That's it. The top of your back knee with your weight on your hands. That's right. And I want you to keep your hips and your shoulders square front. As you slide your foot out, keep your head in line with your front knee and try to keep this alignment of your hips and your shoulders square front. By staying on the top of the back knee, not the side, and keeping the hips square front, we again get a stretch in that hip flexor area and prepare you for arabesque. Bailey, will you demonstrate the splits correctly? And now show how not to practice the splits and how to do it correctly. That's right, good. Sit-ups are very helpful in developing the strength that's needed to control the placement of the body. And this is a good sit-up for this level. Eric is going to demonstrate, but of course the girls do these too. He has his hands behind his head and he's going to keep his elbows open to the side. As he lifts his upper body toward his knees, he blows out his breath. And as he lowers back to the floor, he takes in a breath. When you first give sit-ups to beginners, I think about 10 would be enough. As they get stronger, of course, you can increase the number. Let's do a few to demonstrate. Ready? Up, 1, and lower. Blow out your breath, 2, and lower. 3, and lower. 4, and lower. Dancers have to be limber as well as strong. Here are a couple of exercises to limber the back. Catherine and Bailey are going to demonstrate what we call the bird's nest. Now I want you to have your tummies on the floor and you're going to push up on your arms until they're all the way straight. Now bend the knees, the legs can be apart, and put your head back and see if you can touch your head to your toes. You can walk your hands back a little bit too, Catherine. There you go. Good. Bailey is going to demonstrate pushing up into a back bend. She puts her hands next to her head. Her feet are up under her as close as possible. And she's going to push her tummy up toward the ceiling. Now what's important is that the arms are all the way straight and that she's standing flat on her hands, not her fingertips, and she has her feet flat on the floor. She's not standing on her tiptoes. Is your neck relaxed? Good, and let's lower. When the students are first learning the push-up back bend, it's a good idea to help each one individually. You don't want them to bump their head. And now Catherine and Bailey, can you push up into a back bend on your own? Good, hold that. This is a very good stretch for boys too. For boys are often tighter in the upper back and in the shoulder area. And down. Very good. With our shoulders down and our necks long, let's go through some of the head positions. Becoming familiar with these will really be helpful as you become more advanced. Let's start by placing our hand here and pretending that we're balancing a book on our heads. So your head stays very level. And we're going to turn our head to the right, back to the front, to the left, and back to the front. Now make sure you're keeping your head very level. Don't tilt your head. Right, front, left, front. This is the way we're going to spot our head when we do turns. Right, front, left, front. Good. Now let's practice tilting our head. We're going to take our right ear toward our right shoulder and straighten, and our left ear toward the left shoulder and straighten, to the right, straight, the left, straight. And to be sure we're not turning our head, just tilting it, you can practice a few with your finger on your nose. Right, straight, left, straight. Right ear to your right shoulder, straighten, left, straight. Good. Now let's go over a couple of other head positions. In ballet, when we look up, we don't look straight up, we look on an angle up like that. Remember that much of the audience is looking up at the dancer on stage, and we don't want to give them a distorted view. Again, when we look down in ballet, we don't look straight down, we look on an angle down. Let's practice a few. Ready? We're going to look up, but on an angle up. Look front, look down, look front, look up, look front, look down, look front. This sounds as if we're playing Simon Says. In fact, that might be a fun way to practice the head positions in class. Now let's go over some shoulder exercises. Take your shoulders up and down. Shoulders up and down. Shoulders up and down. We don't want the shoulders up in ballet, we want them down. Now take the shoulders front and way back. And shoulders front and way back. Shoulders front and way back. And shoulders front and way back. These exercises help us find the muscles to put our shoulders in the correct placement. Now let's limber up our shoulders by doing some shoulder circles. Take your shoulders front, up, back, down. Front, up, back, down. Front, up, back, down. Front, up, back, and reverse, back, up, front, down, back, up, front, down, back, up, front, down. One more, back, up, front, and down. Good. Here's an exercise to help us find the correct placement of our shoulders. Touch the tops of your shoulders with your fingertips. And now be sure your shoulders are relaxed and down, but pull the right elbow straight out to the right wall and the left elbow straight out to the left wall. Relax your shoulders down, long neck, elbows pulling straight out so you have a very wide back, wide shoulders, long neck. Now hold that position, don't let your shoulders change, and slowly bring your arms down to your side, but keep your shoulders in the same position, very wide and down. The hand position looks like this. I tell the students to pretend that they've glued the two middle fingers together. The two outside fingers are just slightly up, not like this, but just a pencil's distance. The thumb is long and it's held under the third finger. It should not be sticking out. From the front, you shouldn't see the thumb at all. I like the thumb and the fingers to be long and the hand to be long and thin, as if you're taking a bracelet off. We don't want the wrist to break because we want the hand to be an extension of the line of the arm. For beginning students, you might have them hold a cotton ball between the thumb and the base of the third finger for a while. I teach second position of the arms first. If the students learn a really good second position, all of the other arm positions will come much easier. For one thing, the shape or the form of the arm in second is the same in all of the arm positions. Let's make sure our hands are in a good position, and then put your palms on your lower rib cage, just above your waist. Now I want your shoulders down and relaxed, but pull your elbows straight out to the side. Make sure they're not back here, but straight out to the side. Now, keep your elbows exactly where they are. Don't move your elbows. And we're going to slowly open the lower arms, keeping your elbows right where they are. Stop just when we have a soft curve in the arm. And now notice a few hundred things. The palm is looking to the front. Your elbows are supported. The shoulders higher than the elbow and the elbows higher than the hand. In fact, the baby finger should be on a line with your waist. And make sure that there's no break in the wrist so the line of the arm continues on past the fingertips. This is a game I call the puppet and the toy maker, and I use it to teach the arm positions. This is an example of teaching the students to recognize or see when something is correct, to feel it when it's correct, and to understand how to achieve it. Eric is going to be our toy maker, and Bailey's going to be his puppet. And Bailey, as a puppet, it's like a doll. You can't move on your own, okay? And Eric, I would like you to take your puppet and put her arms in second position. Good. Now check and be sure her palms are facing front. Good. And stand back and take a look. I'd like to take a moment here to suggest to teachers that the combination we did at the Barre of, say, 3 Tendus and Demi Plié, or the 3 Dégagés with Elevé, once the students have mastered the material, have a good understanding of it, it could be given in the center. Whenever reasonable, give new things at the Barre before you give them in the center. This is a step called Balancé. Now you're going to step out with your right foot softly, and then with your left foot on half toe, you're going to just do a little change of weight. That's it. Now let's do it this side. Step, and with your half toe, just change your weight. Step, toe, step, and step, toe, step. Step, toe, step, and step, toe, step. Very good. Let's do this with the music. Ready? And. Step, toe, step, 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 step, toe, step. Good. Step, toe, step. Enough. Good. Once the students have mastered the Balancé side to side, it's fun to do them forward, backwards, and even in a little circle. We're going to do a combination of 4 side to side, like that. And then we'll do 4 moving forward. Want to try them with me? Front, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. We'll do 4 more side to side, okay? And then we'll do 4 going in a little circle. Right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3, right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3. Good. And. Now, let's do sautés. Just like the combination we did at the Barre, we're going to start in plié on the introduction, straighten the legs on count 1, like they're going to be in the air, plié on count 2, sauté 3 with very pointed toes, and hold count 4 to check and see if your pelvis is correct and your knees are over the 3rd toe. Okay? Ready? Let's do this 4 sets. And straight legs 1, plié 2, sauté 3, hold 4, straight, plié, sauté, hold, straight legs, plié, sauté, hold, straight legs, plié, sauté, hold. Check your back. Good. Walking like a dancer is different from the way we walk normally, which is with your heel first. When we walk like a dancer, we walk very elegantly, and the toe touches the floor first, before the ball of the foot and the heel. Right. What else have we learned that the toe touches the floor first? Catherine?
Jumps or sautés.
Right. Is there anything else? Eric?
Dégagé.
Right, good for you. Now when we walk, I want you to stand very, very tall with your head high and look straight ahead. And you're going to reach out with your toe, feeling the floor before you put your weight on it. It's as if you're walking on ice, and you want to feel the ice to be sure that you can put your weight on it. Let's try some. Get ready, arms in second. Now walk very elegantly as if you're royalty. And. Throughout the class, I like to quiz the students on some of the things they've learned. Here's an example. What are the 3 points of the foot we're to stand on when our foot's flat on the floor? Catherine.
The ball of the foot, the baby toe, and the heel.
Good, good. Where should your weight be when you're on half toe? Bailey?
Between the big toe and the second toe, and the little toe cannot be on the floor.
That's right, good. Where should our knees go when we're in Demi Plié? Eric?
Over the middle toe.
That's right, good, good for you. And where should the belly button look when our pelvis is correct? Bailey?
Straight forward, not up or down.
That's right, good. And what is the last thing to leave the floor and the first thing to touch the floor? Say in a dégagé or sauté. Eric?
The toes.
Yes, yes, yes. And last but not least, what starts in a demi plié and ends in a demi plié? Catherine?
Jumps or sautés.
Yes, yes, yes. You have learned many things, and remembering these things in class will help you to advance much faster. Ballet requires a lot of hard work, and you have to remember many things, but you're really well on your way. I try to always end the class with something that is fun and moves across the floor. After working very hard to do everything perfect and in good alignment, it's important to let the students really move. Don't worry about everything being correct, but do encourage listening and moving with the music. Now's the time to introduce skips across the floor, gallops, marching, and most of all, creative dance, or freeform. Use music that will inspire the dancers, their emotions, and their imagination. After all, we want to produce dancers that are more than technicians.